I majored in economics. They explained to us that America was rich only because we had natural resources and temperate climate, and we're just hardworking, had any problems, we moved further west, blah, blah, blah. I like the example of, used to use East and West Germany. Many of the young people wouldn't remember the distinction, same heritage, culture, climate, language. When the wall came down, it's one country. North and South Korea, same heritage, culture, climate, language, history. North Korea, at the end of the Korean War, got 75% of the arable land and socialism. South Korea got 25% of the arable land, all of the mountains and all the refugees. Over the last 5 years, North Korea, over 2.5 million people have starved. Now, the first thing you do is you do food. Then you do houses and radios and cars and all. The first thing, they can't even do food. South Korea, as I said, the 10th largest GDP in the world. So the very simple question is, why do people do this? And Thomas Jefferson said there's a starting point for everything. In all disquisitions of every kind, there are certain primary truths or first principles upon which all subsequent reasoning must depend. And that is that if we believe in freedom or other people making the decisions for us, those on the left want more government. They invent new ways to spend money for us. We believe in limited government. The other side always believes in more taxes, an infinite way of increasing ways to take money away from you. We believe in fewer taxes. They believe in a weak defense. Why? Because every dime they spend to defend the country is one less program that they can hand out. We always believe in strong defense. Now, this causes Katie Couric and the others a great deal of distress. They say, you folks always believe in limited government, but you always vote for a strong defense. The answer to that is yes. Because limited government protects our freedom. Fewer taxes protect our freedom. Strong defense protects our freedom. And our goal is freedom. And finally, thank you. 3 minutes and I'm through. Finally, the left believes that they have power because of their group. And they always are some group of some kind. Either their gender or their. I'm an American, by the way. If we believe in hyphens, my hyphen is I'm an American. And those people believe that their rights come from whatever group they belong to, because I'm this or because I'm that. Well, let me tell you, we believe our rights don't come from our group. We believe that God endowed our rights. My time is up, but let me close just for a quick moment to especially the many, many young people that are here and that are under age 30 or so. Let me say that what you're hearing can be distressing about the condition of our country. What you need to understand is that those folks on the left don't know how to run a two-car funeral. They will foul up whatever it is that they try to do. And since you don't know what to do, you are always afraid. You're always afraid. People that can save and invest and build, when they have a problem, you go to Grandpa, what did you do when the plague hit? What do you do when the spiders do this? What do you do when whatever happens? You fix whatever has to be done. And we're always looking forward to opportunity. Now, the last time the Democrats controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency for 4 years was under Jimmy Carter. And so, what happened? Exactly the same. That is, we're all going to run out of this or that or the other thing. We're all going to run out of, we had gas lines. We were all going to freeze to death. He had his little sweater on and said you had to wear your sweater and ride your bicycle and turn your thermostat down because America's come to an end next Tuesday a week and there ain't anything anybody can do about it. Those folks don't know how to run anything. So therefore, in the night before the election, in which Ronald Reagan went on television, he said there's nothing wrong with America that proper leadership won't cure. Now, the first thing that they did was to take all of those crazy regulations from the oil industry and throw them in the Potomac. And in 24 hours, gas stations that have been closed night after night for year after year, when I drove back and forth from Ohio to Washington, I knew I had to have a full tank of gas by 4 in the afternoon because there wasn't a single filling station between Washington and Ohio that was open. But when my wife and I drove home in March of 1981. She was asleep on the seat, and we drove up into Hillsboro, Ohio, and there the lights were on at the filling station where they'd been closed for nearly 3 years. And I woke her up, and I said, see, sweetheart, had we not won the election, this never would have happened. Now, the truth of the matter is, there is nothing wrong with this country. Please, the message I want to leave with you is that there's nothing wrong with this country that proper leadership won't cure. We've been here before. In 1787, the economy of our nation was in absolute chaos. And as a consequence, they met in Philadelphia to form a new country. And when they did the right things. And in the second State of the Union address, which was written at that time by George Washington, he said that the economic foundations of our nation are on such sound footing that it would have been a madman would have suspected 3 years ago. The fact is that the chaos that they're creating doesn't mean that America can or has to be in decline. It means that we need to remove them as rapidly as possible and get people who know what to do, and America will continue to climb. Final point. Let's take one quick question as everybody's ready. While you're doing, I'll give this closing thought about taxes. And that is that the rest of the world learned from us in the 1980s. I sat with Václav Klaus, at that point was going to be the finance minister for Czechoslovakia. Tonight, at this moment, he is the president of the Czech Republic. But as we're having dinner, we're talking about, I asked him, I said, Václav, what sort of capital gains tax do you anticipate? Now remember what a capital gains tax is. Capital is the money that is needed to create jobs. A tax on sales is a sales tax. A tax on you put in your pocket is called an income tax. A tax on getting the money necessary in America, about $330,000 for each new job you wish to create. A tax on capital to create jobs is a very foolish thing to do. And here's what the finance minister for this newly freed communist country said to me. We're having dinner. He takes a spoon and he stops. And I said, what sort of capital gains tax are you looking at, Václav? And he stopped. He said, Congressman, we're not stupid. And so, in China and in Korea and in all of the Central and Eastern European former communist countries, the capital gains tax is zero. In America, it's one of the second highest, and in the budget that was introduced by the president last week, he has a 145% increase in capital gains. Now, let me tell you this. The United States is #1 in natural gas. It's #2 in coal. It's in the top 3 to 5 in oil. We have a limited capacity for nuclear power. If we had a zero capital gains tax, if we cut the corporate franchise tax to just the average of in Europe, we begin to produce energy here at home, well, this country will take off like a rocket and leave the rest of the world behind. The only question is what kind of leadership we will have to do it. I believe. One question.